Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Envision Me Talk Show. How is everybody doing? So, you know what? First and foremost, I want to wish everybody happy Juneteenth. I want to recognize all of you and actually recognize this amazing holiday, as well as I want to take time out to all those that has faced some kind of issue. There's mental health going on as we speak, and so much more. But I wanted to be mindful of that. And then secondly, you guys know what it is. It's Win Wednesday. Look, I'm gonna have to get me a horn because y'all know I love some dramatics. So I'm gonna have to get me a horn and some whistles because it's Win Wednesday. And Win Wednesday is all about celebrating your wins for today, for this week actually. What is a win? Look, my phone is already being blown up. A win is when you set a goal and you've reached the goal, or you set a goal and it's still in motion, or better yet, you're thinking about it. And when you're thinking about it, it's still a win. A win is a win. Again, I love to celebrate you. I'm going to get me a horn this week, so be prepared for that. And then lastly, go get your girlfriends, your family, everybody get look, I already got my paper ready. So I'm getting my ready. So nuggets will be dropped. And so we will be having our guests come on here in just a few minutes. But tell me what your evening beverage is. I'm always forgetting, you guys. I'm always forgetting my evening beverage. So I have unsweetened tea with a lemon in it. It's always unsweetened. I don't drink anything else. But I would love to hear what you're drinking. And then also, too, what is your what's next? Are you working on it? Or are you facing obstacles and you need us to help you get past those obstacles? If that is you, drop me a line, or you can even text me at 614-674-0074, and we will sit down and we'll have a quick chat on how you can get to your what's next, no matter what. So without further ado, let me go. Look, I'm so excited about my next guest. As my guests come on here, I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Pam. I am the CEO of Vision Made Media, where we have this amazing talk show where we come on weekly with such as empowering women as you're getting ready to hear. Then I also have a magazine. Magazine is Vision Made Magazine. I'm super excited and super stoked. We are currently working on the new issue. My new issue here, yet water. I know that's right. I've had my water for the day, so it's time for me to have something else. But I am currently working on the next issue of Vision Made Magazine. If you want to stay in touch with what we're doing, click this QR code right here. Look, over here. I don't know where you guys are at, but on the screen, point your camera there. You will get to stay connected with Vision Made. You'll get to see when the new issue will be dropped, as well as many other nuggets that's coming forth. As well as every week lately, we have been dropping worksheets for this show. If you were interested in a worksheet, be sure to click on that QR code and you'll be able to get access to today's worksheet for today's show. So without further ado, let me bring on my guest here. Let me see. Hey, lady, are you on?
I don't see myself yet, but I
hear you, but
hear me.
I don't see you.
So I'm going to stop my camera and restart my camera.
Sounds good. That sounds good. When you come back, we'll be ready. So everybody, let me just say this. Let's see. You may have to totally get out because I still don't see you.
You don't. Yes. I'll be right back.
No worries. We'll be here. So everybody, so let me ask you this, Phil. I think this is so perfect timing as we talk about working on our what's next. So I'm created this amazing platform as I bring on amazing women such as Bernette that is coming on here joining with us. I bring on women here And everyone's always asking me, why am I bringing women on to the show? I feel that in order, instead of having my voice, you can hear another voice and you can hear what they're going through. And then you can apply it to your what's next. Now, I know you may not have your what's next figured out. That's okay. We're here to empower you to go after your what's next, and we're here to guide you. I've heard for so many of you are like, well, I need a tribe to support my what's next. Well, you have it. You have us. As long as you stay connected to the QR code, you will be able to get connected and stay connected to us. So without further ado, let me bring my amazing guest. Hey, there we go.
It
Yay.
worked.
Yay. So I'm super excited. So I was telling everybody a little bit about you. So tell everybody what you do, and we can go have some fun from here.
All right. Yeah. So I'm an author. I write across genres, but I'm kind of switching to a new genre as we speak. And I'm a podcast host of that Shiro Life podcast. And I would say I'm a writer and a creative intuitive. And so that's kind of what I do. But I'm a mom and a wife, and that's a big part of my life.
That's a not big, that's a huge part of your
Yeah. Yeah.
you said it so nonchalantly. Let me give you your flowers. That's a huge part of your life.
It's a big part of my life. Yeah.
It is. So let's talk. How did you even get into, we're all about empowering, inspiring women to go after their what's next. And so it's perfect to segue into being a writer. I'm like you, I never thought I would be a writer. And here I am running a magazine, and it's so fun. And I get to meet all you amazing women. But how did you even get into the romantic? How did you even get into that, Jaira?
It's interesting. And I have to go tell a little bit of a backstory. So the books you see behind me are books I've written. And I've always kind of avoided romance. There's always a love story almost woven into most stories. But this time I kind of put that at the front. And when I went through my own wellness journey, starting back in last year, September, I started this my own wellness journey. One of the things that I was really serious about was making sure I stayed in alignment with this principle of having more wellness, more joy, and more love. And when I would check in on like opportunities or things I wanted to do or thought I wanted to do, I had to ask myself, was it going to give me more wellness, more joy, more love? And when I thought about writing another book, because I go through phases of creativity. Sometimes it's dormant and then it gets active again. And I could feel the itch coming in the spring. I was like, oh, I feel like I want to write. I need to write. But I'm like, what am I going to do this time? And I really was like, I'm not doing another epic fantasy or anything that's super heavy. I was like,
Mm,
the world has so much heaviness already. I needed to offer some light. I needed to offer happiness, hope, and really addressing the things that women in midlife are dealing with.
mhm,
And I was like, hello, romance. Like it was just like boom. And I was like, I can write it in my way. So I'm excited because it is dealing with later in life. The Shiros and their heroes are 40 plus, and it's dealing with second chances at life and at love. And for me, that was it had to I had to be that way because it had to be true to kind of who I'm wanting to work with and who I'm not work with so much, whom I'm wanting to serve and
right.
who I want to connect with through all of the things that I'm doing.
So as you go through those, as you have gone through the wellness, and let's be honest, wellness alone is a big animal. I mean, each of these that you have taken on, the journey that you're taking on is huge. And I commend you for taking them on together versus some of us will be like, okay, we're going to work on this piece first. And, let's be honest, a lot of us can only handle that. But you here have encompassed it all. So, how did you even get to this point where you're encompassing your wellness and the writing and be able to juggle it all along with, wait a minute, and you have a family? And
I
that's a lot. And so that's why I'm always like, I have to give you your flowers because that's a lot. And you always hear everybody, well, I can only do it one thing at a time. Once that is successful, or I know I'm on it, then I'll bring something else in. So
mhm.
how did you do all of this?
I wouldn't say I did it all at once because
Okay.
when I was in my wellness journey hardcore phase, that was it.
Okay.
So from September to the end of the year, that was it. I wasn't creating anything besides a new self for me.
Gotcha. Okay. Because I
Yeah.
was just like, how would you be? Because writing is tough to me, especially romance, and I think that would be a hard gyra to write on versus fantasy. Girl, I guess because I just can fantasize about everything, and so I can be like, okay, let me just write it all down. Versus romance is a little bit more.
Mhm.
So okay, because I was just like, wow, how
No,
did you
yeah,
do?
I didn't. But it was, and I think this is important for the people who might see this is I had to go through a wellness journey. It's body, mind, spirit.
Mm-hmm.
And until I did that, there is no way I couldn't write.
Gotcha.
I couldn't write anything. I could write my blogs and my wellness journey, you
Yes.
know, but
Yes.
I couldn't write in that creative space because I wasn't in alignment in my body, mind, and spirit. And I had to do a lot of healing in those areas to be then ready to give of myself again. I had to be pretty selfish for a few months.
And that's good though. And
Yeah.
women, I'm glad you talk about it because a lot of women don't, they feel guilty when they're doing all about them.
Mhm.
And the selfishness has to be there in order for you. And I admit, it took me a long time in this journey that I'm on to even be selfish for myself and not worry about the chatter, not worry about, and also too, you know how society is. Society is judgmental. We turn this on, they're already judgmental. Let's just call
Yeah.
it right.
Yes.
They're already judgmental. So then when you become judgmental and selfish, contained to you, it even becomes a bigger animal. So how did you even get to, and I like that you talked about body, mind, and spirit. How
Mhm.
did you even start working on that piece of of your body, of your wellness journey to even get you to over here to the wellness? I mean, to the romantic writing.
That's a I don't know if you can see, I guess on this side of me, the Love Me poetry
Yeah.
journal. It's a haiku journal, and I actually started writing this a few years ago, and I was revisiting it in the summer of last year as I was thinking about finally putting it out there. I was like, I've been holding on to this, and I was like, maybe I should share it with other people. And I decided to share it this year after I realized that going through those poems again, it's almost
Mhm.
like a conversation with your younger self or your inner child.
Mm.
Um, and so there's two parts of it. And as I would read the poems, I realized there was a shift happening within. And
Oh,
so it kind of, I think it's like mental and spiritual there. But I wasn't ready. I still wasn't ready.
okay.
And I told somebody about 2 weeks before I started my wellness journey that I don't like going to the gym. I flat out said, I don't like going to the gym. 2 weeks later, I'm in the gym signing up with a personal trainer. I mean, sometimes shifts happen like that.
Right.
Was like that, and I started doing Duolingo, and I know as crazy as that sounds,
Mhm.
I started doing Duolingo, which is mind, you know,
Yes.
and I believe you have to do other things to start showing yourself what's possible,
Right.
and I would do it daily, and just getting into the habit of doing something for myself daily, being accountable to myself on a regular basis, and, I'm at 288 days now, I think, of Duolingo,
Wow, that's
consistent,
awesome. That is
but it's
congratulations.
yeah, thank you. Spanish. I may only do a little bit each day, but I
But
try to do it every day.
but
And
but the little but as more you keep doing it, it gets you closer and closer and closer to where, where you be so fluent, it's just be like that. So,
right, maybe one day, right? So
yeah,
I'll
you
get
will. I know maybe if you will.
5 years from now. No, I'm not too bad. I'm not too
Yeah,
bad.
I know you're not. I trust me. I know you're not. You're funny.
But
So,
that's really what it was. I had to do it, and I thought about it. I had to do something mentally. I had to do something spiritually.
mm,
I had to do something physically, and they all had to be done. I could not just do because I've been writing for a while and it's very mental.
Yes,
I'm an
yes,
intuitive, and the channel, it's very spiritual. But
yes.
I was neglecting the physical, and we are physical beings. We live on a physical
Right.
planet. It's like
And
we
it's
can't neglect
true.
it.
Right. But you're right though. But again, it's so easy to get out of shift, getting not paying to the shift, right?
Mhm,
That everything is moving so much this way when it should be just moving like this. And when you don't pay attention until it's later, like, oh wait a minute, what happened? Then we realize what happened.
mhm,
So the shift happens all the time. But it does happen all the time. It's just upon how do we face it or adjust to it, and
mhm.
two, more or less, how do we even recognize it? And what do we do with it? Because right there, first and I was recognizing it, and what do we do with it can throw everybody off schedule, off kilter, where you can't get connected. So yeah,
I was ignoring it. I mean, I admit, like, I was ignoring myself, my health. I mean, I was a perimenopausal woman.
yes.
I noticed things happening in that area, hot flashes and like my
Mhm.
mood and brain fog. And I'm like, I don't like this.
Right,
I don't
right.
like this. Right. And then I found a lump in my breast
Oh
in
wow.
August as well. And I said, okay, I gotta go get this checked out.
Mhm.
And if anything is happening, I need to be in the best physical shape possible to get through it. I didn't know what was going to come of it, but I knew
Yeah,
I needed to be ready. So I
that's
almost felt like I was suiting up for a possible battle. It's like, okay, we have to get this
ready.
together.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
Um,
was the outcome good?
it was by the time I got the biopsy done, it was
Yes.
mid-November. So
Oh
I'd
wow.
already yeah. So I found it in August, and all that process, I'm just like taking care of myself. I'm focusing on Bernette. I got the biopsy done in mid-November, and it was negative, um, for cancer. So thank goodness.
That's right, right.
But I
But
realized that I had to take care of myself. I can't
yeah.
like,
I
yeah.
I get you. I get you. So we
Mm.
have women around the world that's listening to us right now. And I'm always asking you amazing, powerful women, if you could give everybody one tip today that they can implement, what would be that one tip that you would like to leave everybody with?
It would be pick one thing, and this is more. It's like a three-part one tip.
Okay.
Pick one thing that you can do every day that's physical, one thing that's mental, and one thing that's spiritual.
Okay.
Every day, that way you are constantly reinforcing that body, mind, and spirit alignment. So just pick one thing. It could be 1 minute. It doesn't matter what it is. Just pick
Yes.
something every day in all three areas that you can do.
I love it. I think that is so awesome. You guys, look, my notes is filling up, so I'm trying to get everything into place of everything. So as we get ready, we're already halfway through the show. Believe it or not, this is going by so fast. I know, right?
Oh my goodness.
Already, it was like that the other time, so it was so meant to be. If somebody wanted to pick up "Love Me," your "Love Me" journal, where can they get one?
It's on Amazon. It's on my store, my PayHip store. So if you go to mounthopemedia.com, you can find all of my books and access them, get signed copies of some of them.
Okay,
But
I
yeah,
will
that
definitely
one.
I will definitely put that in the show notes. So if any of you are wanting to get connected and getting one of the books, I want one of the books. I am definitely going to get the Love Me journal. So I can't wait to
It
get.
is. It really, I didn't realize how much of an impact it was having
Yes.
until I looked back and said, "Oh, I see." By working on this book and having to read through these poems over and over, and
Yes.
I was doing that spiritual mental work.
Yep, and you do amazing because I remember I even got after we had our time together on yours, and you did the intuitive. I was like, oh my! Literally sat in my office in quiet and in awe, just thinking about what you said. Just
Oh, wow.
literally thinking. And then I have another girlfriend who is intuitive like you. Didn't even know you were on my show. She calls and says the same thing you said. the same
Wow.
thing. I was like, okay, I hear you, God. I'm listening. I'm really, really, I promise you I'm listening. So yes, I'm
Ding,
very
ding, 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 ding. Yeah.
girl, yeah. You're like, if you ain't paying attention now, I'm gonna get you one more time. I will.
Sometimes we need that
We do.
confirmation just to say, okay,
I'm
this
doing
is
it
this
for
is
you.
coming in for you. Yeah.
Yeah, so true. So if
Yeah.
anybody want to get connected to you, what's the best way they can connect to you?
Well, they can go to thatshirolife.com,
Okay.
that Shiro Life. And that's where the new romantic comedies, you can find them there. I'm actually looking for ARC readers, which are advanced readers. That form is open if people want to read it. They are novella length, so they're not one of my 80,000 or 100,000 word books. They're novella, they're shorter, which is something that was important to me. I was like, I want to feel successful reading a book.
Right.
I want to feel like I can get through it. And I
I'm with
know I'm not the only one.
I'm girl. And I'm reading so many. We'll get to talk about that in a minute, but I got so many books. I promise you. I'm like, when I get done, I'm like, wow. Now this shouldn't have taken me this long to get this book done. But I'm I like that idea, having a short book, because then you feel successful. Then you're like, okay, I can go get a big book and I should be able to write.
Yeah.
You should be able to get this done.
I
So
can read this book and sometimes you're like, I just want to read something on the weekend.
exactly.
And you can
Exactly.
actually get through it.
And be
So yeah.
right. So, so you guys have to check her out. I hope you guys got her information. Say it one more time where they can connect to you at.
That Shiro, Shero Life. So that Shiro Life. That's my podcast, my books, my other offerings. And you can find me on Substack, which all the links though are on my website, thatshirolife.com.
Cool. Before we move into the second half of the show, I do have one other question for you. What is the easiest way to get started on all those obstacles, not obstacles, but all those entities that we talked about getting and starting our new journey?
Little steps. A lot of times people want to bite off a whole lot. Like they say, I'm gonna get in shape. And then they just go hard. They go so hard
Yeah.
that it's not sustainable. And mentally, it's not sustainable because you have to build up, just like you have to build up endurance for running, you have to build up endurance just to go to the gym 3 days a week. Like there's a thing you got to do is just getting in habits. And so starting with things you know you can do. If you know that you are not going to the gym for 90 minutes, you say it, but you know that is not really going to happen for more than 3 days. Then say, you know what? I'm going to go for 20 minutes. That might be it. I'm going to
Hmm.
do 3 weights, 3 weight exercises and 10 minutes on the elliptical or 10 minutes of walking. If you do that 3 days a week, you start building up the habit of going. And maybe 2 weeks later, you're like, okay, I'm going to go 30 minutes.
I like that. I like
And
that.
then you keep doing it. As women our age, we really do not need to be in the gym more than 45 minutes. We only need 3 days a week. You can do 30 to 45 minutes if you do a smart sit
Hmm.
session or hit session that is high intensity, sprint interval training, using weights combined with um, cardio in between. You can
Yes.
get it done. I do mine now in 30 to 40 minutes, 3 days a week, and then I walk on the other days.
Oh, I like that idea.
And that's
And that's it.
That's
Okay.
it, because and I'll say, and I want your audience to hear this, women who are perimenopausal and menopausal, our
Mhm.
cortisol levels shoot up when we're trying to do too much, even in the gym. You
Mm,
can actually be counterproductive
really?
by
Wow.
doing too much. And you're like, I'm going to the gym 5 days a week and I'm on the treadmill for an hour running. No.
3 days a week. I can do that. That is a very simple commitment.
Mhm.
3 days a week, 30 to 45 minutes each day. Oh, that's easy.
And then walking a couple days a
Oh
week.
yeah. No, I do that part. Now
Mhm.
that I got. It's just getting into the gym piece. So I
Mhm.
do like
And you
that.
don't even have to go to the gym. You can do it
Right.
at home.
Right.
Yeah.
Now that you said 30 to 45 minutes, do you know how much of a weight just lifted off of my shoulder? I'm like, okay.
I don't have to be there all day. You don't have to be there all
Right.
night.
Right. So I like that. I so like
Yeah.
Well, thank you for that. I'm glad I did ask that question because it then I had it on my thing to circle to keep asking you. So this part of our show here, we get a little bit more personal on some things that you do. And right
Okay.
here in the show, we talk about book on the shelf. Now, everybody, my phone is already ringing. They're like, "Here you go. You get kickbacks on this." I don't. I just believe in order for us to be empowered and inspired to go after our what's next, no matter what it is. May it be that you want to climb the corporate ladder. May it be you want to be in entrepreneurship. Whatever it may be, but I feel that our mindset has to be in that right area. It has to be right. And what perfect way to get right is with reading. Okay, now I don't read, so let me say this because someone's already said it already. Well, Miss Pam, you don't read. Okay, you're right. I listen to Audible books. Audible books is my jam. I can listen to Audible, and now that I know I can go work out three times a week. I can use Audible, and it gets me through the day. So, with
Mhm.
that being said, let's talk about your romantic books that'll be coming out soon.
Okay. All right.
So,
What do you want to talk about? Because
so
I
first of all, what is the name of the books?
so it's going to be called The Walking Club. That's the name of the series. And because I'm a certified personal trainer and nutrition coach, and so I'm going to weave some wellness in there because that's
Woo!
I just can't help it. But
Right.
it's called The Walking Club, and the first book is called But First Crawl.
But BUT.
BUT
Uh-huh.
First Crawl.
Okay, got it.
She the Shiro in that one has a life-changing incident in her life, and she's forced to start again after a 22-year marriage. And it's like, how do you do that? How do you make friends? How do you reintroduce yourself to the world? And how do you do that while being honest to who you are and reimagining what life and love might be like for you? And
Oh,
so, she of course meets her her handsome landlord who is in the duplex next to her, and you know they have a story. Her story arc is a little bit longer because hers kind of goes through the entire series,
yes.
but there's there's some happiness at the end, of course,
Oh,
because I want my stories to bring happiness.
right. Right.
but
So now,
they're low spice. I'll say, if my 12-year-old son picked it up, I
yes.
would not be like, oh my, they're yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to get. So when will the book come out?
So August 1st, first one will come out August 1st. It's with the editor right now. It'll be back with me hopefully by the end of this week or Monday. And then I am accepting ARC readers, which are advanced readers, to read it and review it. So advanced readers typically actually do read the book. They get the early copy so
Yes.
that they can review it online. And those review books will go out between the first week of July and the third week of July.
All right, you guys.
By
So
ebooks. Mhm.
right. So if they're interested to be in that ARC reader, how can they go about it?
So if you go to my website, that's sherolife.com, and then go to /romantic comedies,
Okay.
or you can just go to books and then romantic comedies. But
Oh,
there's a form there you can get to
okay.
fill out. So yeah,
Nice.
it's
Oh,
it's it's cute, but it's kind of a dramedy. So it's not just like, oh, fluff, fluff. It's
yes.
we're
Oh, I
dealing
can't
with
wait.
people who are seasoned.
I cannot wait to get that. I'm gonna have to be an ARC reader so I can go ahead and get my read on right now because
And
I'm
it's not
excited
too
about
long.
that. Yay!
Yeah, it's not.
And then
It's
when's the second book? Is that in the works too, or is this the first book that's going to roll out first?
The first book will roll out first. I literally this afternoon finished the first draft of the second book.
Wow.
So I finished that draft. My goal is I have to decide once the first book comes out how much
Yes.
time I want between the first and second book.
That makes sense. That
Yeah,
makes so much sense. I understand that. I
yeah.
love it. I love it. So, with that being said, as you are a busy mom, a busy woman, you're an author, and all that you do, we also talk about self care. And I think it's important, especially all that is going on in our day-to-day lives. What is one self-care routine that you do?
Probably working out. I have a home gym and go walking in the woods a couple times a week, and I work out. I like touching iron.
Mm,
And I think people don't realize that it's actually very powerful to touch that earth element. Our earth is made of iron. And so just
yes,
lifting weights grounds you in a way that a lot of other things don't. Like walking in nature is grounding.
yes.
Lifting weights, true iron is grounding.
Wow, I love it. Well, as we get ready to close down, like I said, it's gone so fast. I could talk to you all day. I
It went
know.
so fast.
It's so fast. I could talk to you all day. So I have two more questions. And so my first question is, as we talked about the books that are getting ready to roll out, what is your what's next?
Thank you for asking that. It's interesting because yesterday I was doing some checking in. So I regularly check in about the things that I say I want to do
Yes.
because as a creative, there's no shortage of ooh,
Right, right,
what else can I do?
right.
And sometimes I have to be Bernette, calm down, and I really had to have a calm down moment and say, yes, I could do those things, but let's focus. And so right now, I'm trying to contain myself to doing my podcast, my books as my main thing, and I have a blog,
Yes.
but they're connected and really just focusing on that mainly, and anything else being very, very tangent, very, very ancillary, and just
I
focusing.
understand.
'Cause I will easily keep adding things on. I'm like, no,
Yeah, and that's funny that you said focus because this week I've written focus on every page of my book, of my planner. I'm like you, because as a creative minds, our minds keep going and giving this and giving that and giving that.
mhm,
And it's nice to have it. I just write it out and put it away. And it will, if it's meant to be, it will meant to be. If not, it's there for somebody else. And I'm learning that now, right now. But yeah,
it
I
is
did.
a hard thing, I tell
Oh
you.
my goodness.
'Cause you're like,
You
oh, but this must be for me, and I'm like,
right. And then you think about it, you're like, oh no, this was
no.
not for me.
Or how
Mm-mm.
much time you'd be like, it sounds great until you start calculating how much
Right. And then
time.
you're like, no, not so much anymore. I agree with you.
Yes, that one's hard.
It is. It is.
Mhm.
I listen, I got so many books over here writing down. I'm like, if not, I will be sitting over here running myself on a wheel and then drowning, just drowning. So I
Yeah,
agree with
which
you. So
isn't healthy.
it isn't. So
Which
focus
isn't
is such an amazing, important word for me this week. So I appreciate that. And then lastly, what would you like to leave everybody with?
what would I like to leave everybody with? Hmm, you are important, and I
Mhm.
think we need to remember that as women, we put a lot of other things ahead of ourselves, a lot of other people are ahead of ourselves, but we are important too, and our needs are important, our lives are important, and if we can't show up as who we are supposed to be because we have been putting ourselves to the side for so long, everybody else is going to suffer anyway.
You're right. You're so right.
So we need to take care of ourselves.
Well, today was so this the talk. This was fun as always. I enjoyed you.
Okay, I enjoyed you.
Before we get off of here, lastly, one more time, how can they connect to you?
Go to that Shiro Life, THATSheroLife.com. That's my main website for the things I'm doing with midlife women. My name is a website, BernetteSherman.com. And then my books are all at MountHopeMedia.com.
Well, thank you, lady. You were amazing, as I knew you were. Man, this time was fun. It went by so
It went
fast.
by too fast, ma'am.
Girl, did you hear me? I'm like, wait a minute. My watch them ding me talking about ding, ding, your time, your time. So
Oh, wow.
me, I want to be mindful of your time, but I'm gonna put you in the green room. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back with you. But thank
Okay.
you so much. This was
Thank
fun.
you. This was fun. Thank you.
Absolutely. Okay, everybody. So if you did not catch it, if you did not catch it. We have talked about so many ways that you can go after your what's next, right? First, Bernette had talked about the body, mind, and spirit. And she talked about doing little steps, as we always talk about, doing things on a small. That's why I'm always asking you, what is your win for this week? Not for next week, but for this week, so we can celebrate you. If you are wanting to go and do a little chat with me to find out how to start working on your what's next, so we can do the little ones, drop it in the feed or drop me a quick note. You can even email me at visions, VISIONS, made, MADE, LLC at gmail.com. And then just put in the subject line, help, and I will reach out to you. If you're wanting to get connect to Bernette, I'm always tell you, I don't have all the answers. So I'm always locking arms with powerful, impactful women such as her that can help you get you to your what's next. So if you want to connect to her, just drop me a line and just say you want to talk to Bernette, and I will get that message to her. Until next week, everybody, when I bring on another amazing woman such as the one I had today, be in tune and be ready for your what's next. And let me tell you this, you only have one life, you guys. One life to live. Live that life to the fullest and live it for you and nobody else. And create your what's next for yourself and nobody. And knowing that your what's next can be climbing the corporate ladder or being an entrepreneur or laying on the beach. But whatever it is, remember it's for you, and go after and be empowered to be you. Until next week, everyone. Bye.